afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Today on Newsfeed at noon, despite their intensifying feud, President Bongbong Marcos says he urged lawmakers not to file impeachment raps against Vice President Sara Duterte. In a world first, Australia officially banning children under 16 from social media. A pair of Michael Jordan's game-worn sneakers going up for auction in New York. And talk about a unique Thanksgiving tradition. An Alaskan resident delivers turkeys to rural homes by airdrop. Thanks for joining us. We begin with President Bongbong Marcos confirming he asked lawmakers to refrain from filing an impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte. Marcos made the pronouncement after being asked to confirm a text message he supposedly sent to House leaders, which surfaced Thursday. Talks of impeachment against the vice president are growing louder following her alleged kill plot against the first couple and House Speaker Martin Romualdez. But Marcos says an impeachment process will only tie down Congress.
But nalik na, yes. Because that's really my opinion. This is not important. This does not make any difference to even one single Filipino life. So why waste time on it? What will happen to if somebody files an impeachment? It will tie down the House, it will tie down the Senate, it will just take up all the time, and for what? For nothing. For nothing. None of this will help improve a single Filipino life. As far as I'm concerned, it's a storm in a teacup.
Vice President Sara Duterte fails to appear at the NBI today despite a subpoena to explain her death threats against the first couple and House Speaker Martin Romualdez. Instead, her legal counsel forwarded a letter requesting to reset the hearing to a later date. Hannah T. is at the NBI office in Pasay. She joins us now for details. Hannah, what exactly is written in the letter?
My Vice President Sara Duterte's legal counsel has formally requested the NBI to reschedule the hearing. In their letter, they asked for two things. First, a copy of the complaint filed against her, including all attachments, and second, a list of questions the investigators intend to ask. NBI Director Jaime Santiago confirmed that the request to reset her appearance has been tentatively approved, with December 11th set as the new date. This would give the Vice President enough time to prepare as a matter of courtesy and due process. But Santiago also said the NBI is still deliberating whether to grant Duterte's request for the list of questions she wants to be provided in advance. Earlier today, an advance party from Duterte's camp came to inspect the venue. Later, her lawyer, Attorney Paul Lim, arrived to formally submit the rescheduling request. According to Santiago, Duterte only found out late that her scheduled appearance before the House of Representatives was canceled, which is why she could not attend the NBI hearing. It can be recalled that the House Blue Ribbon Committee has decided to postpone today's hearing to give VP Sara the opportunity to appear before the NBI. When asked how the NBI director feels about VP Sara's absence, Santiago admitted it was frustrating as the NBI wants to conclude this investigation as soon as possible. Mai Santiago also announced subpoenas will be issued today to individuals identified in the viral Zoom meeting. These include some members of the media and, of course, the Zoom account owner. Mai.
Hannah, how many of those are we talking about and when will they appear?
Mai, there are fewer than 12 individuals identified. Their hearings are scheduled in batches. 4 participants on Wednesday, another 4 on Thursday, and the last batch will be on Friday. All of these before December 11. Mai?
Yes, and what will happen if VP Sara fails to appear again before the NBI on December 11? Also, the Zoom participants?
The NBI says they still need to determine the possible reasons for her non-appearance if in case that happens again on December 11. From there, they will take necessary steps. However, Santiago mentioned that if the investigation proceeds, they may waive her right to be heard. As for the Zoom participants, Santiago said the NBI won't be strict with them since they are not facing any charges. Back to you, Mai.
Hanati reporting live from the NBI office in Pasay City. In other news, the country's economic managers are confident the Philippines will meet its economic targets this year. Sujin Kim joins us on the line for details. Sujin, go ahead.
Mai, in a press chat with the media this morning, National Economic and Development Secretary Arsenio Balisacan revealed the government remains optimistic about meeting its 6 to 7% growth rate for 2024. Buoyed by stable commodity prices, holiday-driven spending, and a significant growth in the labor market. Secretary Balisacan says the Philippines continues to demonstrate resilience in spite of global and domestic challenges. The country, he adds, retains its position as one of the fastest-growing economies in the region. On the fiscal front, one of the priorities of the government is to reduce the fiscal deficit to 5 to 6% of GDP in 2024. This reflects a more disciplined approach to balancing economic growth with financial stability. He says the recent S&P Global Ratings outlook upgrade reflects the country's improved policy framework and significant investments in infrastructure and public services. Moreover, the Public-Private Partnership, or PPP program, which saw the approval of 32 projects in 2024, accelerated infrastructure development and the reduction of bottlenecks. Further adding that monetary policy easing by the central bank continues to spur growth. NEDA Secretary Arsenio Balisacan says the goal of reducing poverty to a single-digit rate by 2028 is achievable and there is a good chance of attaining upper middle-income country status by next year. And those are latest updates in Mandaluyong City. Back to you, Mai.
Thank you. Sujin Kim reporting. Australia's groundbreaking social media ban for minors is officially happening and some citizens are pushing back. The country's parliament has approved the bill preventing kids under 16 from having a social media account. The ban, which takes effect in a year, could see tech companies fined up to 50 million Australian dollars if they don't comply. For a number of residents, social media responsibility lies with parents, not the government.
I don't think it's a good thing, really, because I think that it's not going to stop it, and also the government's taking control of things that is parents' responsibility. Because parents are going to keep still using their social media, aren't they? And their kids are going to be watching them doing it. So what's the point, really?
I think potentially there needs to be a lot more education for parents about what potentially is available on social media to their very young children.
It's Thanksgiving Day in the U.S. and it isn't complete without Macy's annual parade. Thousands brave persistent rains to watch massive floats sail down the city of New York. For the first time in the parade's 98-year history, Minnie Mouse graced the event as a character balloon. The parade also featured beloved characters like Spider-Man and SpongeBob. Chicago also hosting its 90th annual Thanksgiving parade. An array of floats, marching bands, and cultural performances brought festive cheer to the city's legendary State Street. Among the highlights, a massive turkey balloon. Organizers say the parade is more than just a celebration, but an opportunity to share the incredible stories that make Chicago unique. We're taking a break. Up ahead, scientists in Peru unveil a crocodile fossil believed to be over 10 million years old. That and more when Newsfeed at Noon returns. Stay with us. You're watching Newsfeed at Noon. GCash is reportedly inviting banks to pitch for an initial public offering in Manila to potentially raise up to 1.5 billion US dollars. According to a Bloomberg report, the company, the Philippines' biggest fintech platform, aims to list in the second half of 2025. If successful, this IPO could become the largest in the country's history. The Land Bank of the Philippines unveils an enhanced lending program to boost support for the agriculture sector. Sujin Kim has the details.
The Land Bank of the Philippines is ramping up its efforts to expand financial inclusion, digitalization, and sustainable development to Filipino communities in the countryside. Land Bank, together with government agencies, unveiled the AgriSenso Plus lending program at the Candaba Action Center in Pampanga. This will provide financial and capacity-building support for small farmers, fishers, agrarian reform beneficiaries, and businesses in the agriculture value chain.
We've had a number of lending programs actually. We felt that, in keeping with really alleviating poverty, that we needed to update those programs.
Kasi sila ang sektor na kung saan kinabibilangan yung pinakamahihirap na ating mga kababayan. So, para maibsan ang poverty incidence rate, ay sila yung isa sa mga binibigyan natin ng focus at isa sila sa sektor na binibigyan talaga ng atensyon ni Presidente Bongbong Marcos.
Land Bank is allocating 11.47 billion pesos for the program to benefit 10,000 farmers, fishers, and ARBs by offering accessible loans, insurance coverage, and training. The initiative promises a nationwide rollout, ensuring its impact reaches all corners of the country.
We have 606 branches, right? We have partnerships. Through those partnerships, the agri-hubs that we have, all these partnerships, we're able to really roll it out countrywide. So I think this is just the first of a number of our initiatives and efforts to make sure that this AgriSenso Plus program is known.
The initiative promises simplified loan processes and expanded eligibility criteria. Some of the key features and benefits include a fixed interest rate of 4 to 7.5%, inclusive eligibility, free life and credit insurance, training programs, and less endorsements for easier access. Land Bank President Lynette Ortiz says these rates will comparatively be more helpful for borrowers.
So we started off from 7. As you know, the BSP policy rate was at 6.5. It's now 6.25, and hopefully there will be maybe easing in the next couple of weeks. So if you compare it to that overnight rate, certainly 4% is way below market. And we started off with this program at 7, right? 7. So it's really 300 basis points lower.
Of the total funding, 1.47 billion pesos comes from penalties collected by the central bank under Republic Act 11901. This law requires banks to allocate at least 10% of their loanable funds to agriculture and fisheries development. However, some banks opt to not directly comply with the law.
Hindi masyado sila tumutupad dyan. Ang ginagawa nila ay upang makapag-comply sa batas na yan ay bumibili na lamang sila ng mga treasury bonds. So, hindi talaga nasusunod ng gusto kung ano man yung intention ng Magna Carta for micro, small, and medium enterprises.
As of September, Land Bank has extended more than 700 billion pesos in support of agriculture, fisheries, and rural development. Sujin Kim, BNC.
A rare croc species unveiled in Lima, Peru, as paleontologists present a fossil said to be over 10 million years old. Discovered in the fossil-rich desert region of Ica, the gharial-type crocodile is believed to have measured between 3 and 4 meters long. Gharials currently exist only in Asia, but discoveries show they were also found in South America in ancient times. We're taking another breather. Still to come, a pair of Michael Jordan's game-worn sneakers is going up for auction. The details when we return. Stay tuned.
From the filing of candidacies until the last ballot is counted. Your newest trusted news source, BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel, will be at the forefront to guide your decisions and guard your vote. Tune in to BNC's Election 2025 special coverage. Get the latest on the economy and the financial markets.
We got a really big push during the pandemic, but since then, how has it been? Now, fundamentally, and given the anticipated rate cuts, where do you see the PSE index headed if either Trump or Harris win?
Down to each basis point.
12.75 billion peso deal to modernize the Lagundingan International Airport, a move that's expected to boost Mindanao's economy.
Basis Points with Mikey Orel. Weekdays, 9:30 a.m. on BNC.
We're back. You're still on Newsfeed at noon. A bionic knee and an ankle system wins big at Cybathlon, a competition to showcase technology for those with motor disabilities. Here's a full story.
This is Cybathlon, a competition showing technology for those with motor disabilities. As he maneuvers across a balance beam, Andrea Modica is wearing one of this year's top winners, the Omnia. The bionic system consists of two motorized components, Unico, the knee, and Armonico, the ankle. Its makers say its unique composition helps its users feel a more natural walk while keeping them safe from falls. The Unico knee combines hydraulic and electric technology. The hydraulic system is used for level walking or descending. The electric technology helps its user during tasks like climbing stairs or standing from a seated position. Samuele Di Giuseppe is with the Italian Institute of Technology, the makers behind the Omnia.
This strategy allows for a more physiological walk, allowing the patient to feel safer and a reliable system during the everyday life activities.
The Armonico ankle features an innovative screw mechanism that reduces heel impact and prevents tripping. Di Giuseppe says the device is fully customizable for the user.
Thanks to the sensor present on this system, the prosthetic device is able to adapt itself during the walk, allowing for a smoother transition and reducing the risk of stumbling for the patient.
While at Cybathlon, Modica put the Omnia to the test on a race course mimicking daily life activities. He completed 9 out of 10 tasks in under 3 minutes. Researchers are working on refining the Omnia prototype in the lab before bringing it to market.
Good news for sports fans and sneakerheads. A piece of NBA history is up for grabs in an auction in New York next month. Sotheby's is selling a pair of game-worn sneakers which belong to Basketball Hall of Famer Michael Jordan. These are expected to sell by as much as $400,000. Jordan wore these sneakers in the 1993 NBA Finals, particularly in Game 4, where the Chicago Bulls legend scored a Finals career-high 55 points against the Phoenix Suns. The auction begins December 2nd. Architects and designers put their cookie crafting skills to the test as the annual Gingerbread City returns to London this year. With the theme Recycled City, the event features iconic buildings made out of gingerbread, icing, and sweets. Some of the delicious structure on display include London's BT Tower and Royal Opera House. The exhibit runs from November 30 to December 29. The Thanksgiving spirit taking over South Korea, hundreds of U.S. troops stationed there celebrated the holiday with prime rib, chicken, and some good old mac and cheese. But since it's South Korea, traditional banchan or side dishes like kimchi were also part of the Thanksgiving feast. Roughly 28,500 troops are stationed in South Korea. And before we go, it's raining turkey in Alaska as one local resident takes to the skies for a unique Thanksgiving tradition. For the third year in a row, Esther flew her small plane to airdrop around 30 to 40 turkeys to families living off the grid. She says the idea for the so-called Alaska turkey bomb was inspired by a neighbor who once delivered turkeys to her family during harsh winters when she was younger.
The logistics are a tad bit challenging at times. The first one would be weather. That would be the hardest logistic. We get turned around due to weather in Alaska. I'm building a nonprofit organization with this, and my goal and vision is to be able to reach more parts of Alaska because there are just so many families that live off-grid, and I can only reach a certain area myself. To reach more areas, I just need more resources for that.
Happy Thanksgiving for those families, thanks to her. And those are the news this hour. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. I'll see you again Monday. Have a great weekend.